This podcast is rated MA 15 plus. Anyone below that or can't go into a servo and buy a skin mag should not listen any further.
Well, in real estate terms, it means you're getting paid, baby.
Yeah, we probably won't use that.
Apologies for that, people. Welcome to Unconditional Podcast. Shane and Robbie here. First week down with some reviews of the podcast. Shane, have you?
How'd they go?
Well, look, there's been a few choice words thrown around. Fairly good. Seems to be like we got a little bit of banter, which is nice.
Yep.
A little bit of insightful information. One of the girls said it was horrendous.
Yeah, horrendous.
Horrendous.
Yeah, not surprising.
I think she looked at the
That
video,
was just my
though.
performance.
That was your... No, I think that was all overall. She looked at the video, and I think what we both noticed in the video is we slouch a lot.
Yeah, and I looked really fat, which obviously I am.
Yeah.
But it'd be
So
nice to sit more front on, I think.
Yeah, well, we've changed the chairs. You'll notice we've changed the chairs. Also, I am not going to play with myself under
Yeah, you look like he was playing with a bottle cap, but it looked like he was playing with something else.
Every time
first
Shane told a
episode-
story, I was touching myself.
First episode nerves.
Yeah, well, we don't want that to be on the internet. Unless it's on OnlyFans. But that's another podcast. That's another streaming service we can maybe get into at a later date.
So we're going to try and keep the wheels on the track this week because last week was a bit loose. And the first one, we were warming up. So we're going to try and, stay on the topic. There'll be a little bit of looseness because I just don't think we can not go a little bit loose in parts. But the topic for this week is marketing your home, Robert. But we're going to start with, I've probably jumped the gun there. It is marketing your home, but we're going to do the week in review. Yeah,
so from a real estate perspective, we're a week and a bit now on from the election being called, and I personally found a significant shift. I've noticed there's certainly agents are shying away from marketing without a price. I'm noticing lots of new pricing on homes, which I'm sure will appease a lot of buyers that always whinge about us arsehole agents that do not disclose pricing of property. So there's certainly a softening, and buyers will be having a little bit more of an opportunity to maybe negotiate a bit stronger. That's my opinion. Where are you at?
I just think the reason we haven't been able to price things is because you just don't know where to price them.
Correct.
I had a house where the owner wanted 900. I was the only agent that gave him any hope. He had 5 of us out, and I said, look, if it's out there, it's probably going to pay in this market. So I was giving him a range of late 8s, early 9s, had 30 people through. 29 of them laughed at me pretty much and said, I don't think it's worth that. We've seen nicer ones at 800. I got 5 offers after the first open home. 4 of them were at 750. And as the agent, that starts to stress you out because you're like, oh no, this one's overpriced. How am I going to be able to tell the owner this? And as you get more experience, you find a way around that. One lady walks in, interstate, the miracle buy that everyone's always dreaming of getting. Loved it.
The old wood duck, as Jason Reed used to refer to them as.
They walk in.
Name drop?
No. Won't name drop her. She was lovely though, but she walked in and said, I love it. I'm going to make an offer. 880 cash. Got her up to 890. Appraised pretty much every other house in the street after that one. I was very busy. I think I appraised, there was only about 7 houses in the street, and I think I appraised 5 of them because people were like, I can't believe it.
Was that this week?
No, that was about a month and a half ago. So the market in this time has changed. I don't think you're
So if we're going to do a month and a half ago review,
yeah,
that's a great story.
It's a great story.
But
that's why we weren't pricing them. That's
called
why,
the week in review.
Yeah, but that's why we weren't pricing them
Correct.
though, because now you can price them because there's less people looking.
Yes.
And it's not so much guesswork because it was...
open home numbers compared to a review month and a half ago, seeing you want to go down a new segment?
Well, we had 30 through, and then I had one open on the weekend, and I think we had 5 through.
Yeah, certainly. There's certainly a shift towards less. Well, obviously, long weekend, Easter weekend, election. There's a number of factors, but I'm certainly seeing an inquiry. So, look, I may be wrong. Hopefully, I am wrong because we like making fast money.
Every market's different as well, but across the board, I think it's slowing down. Like Sydney and Melbourne have obviously gone down a bit from what we're hearing from what you see and what you hear.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, our listenership is very limited to
people.
friends and family at the moment.
But
we're on the Gold Coast. My mum and dad. Well, not my mum and dad. They don't. I don't know how they probably can't open up a Google Drive at the moment. But no, so we're the Gold Coast market, Northern Gold Coast to be specific. So, I mean, just touching on that, probably digressing a wee bit, but we are hoping to have phone-in guests, phone-in agents spread out over the state, certainly the southeast Queensland region. Hopefully this takes off.
Look, if you're in the top 10, if you're in the 10 people that are listening and you're interstate and you want to tell us a bit about your market, feel free to ring in.
Email. Or come to Upper Coomera.
We'll put the email on the bottom of the YouTube, Blair.
Beautiful.
So, is that week in review? So we're more or less just talking about the market now, but yeah, the market is slowing. So
that was my transition.
Yeah.
That was my segue.
Yeah.
Into this week's topic.
Yeah,
which
take
is
it away.
Marketing. Have we
got an opener? Have we got any music? You can work on that.
You can work on
the trumpet or something.
So that was my segue, which I've been working on my segues because you get a bit wishy-washy and I need to keep you in line when you start chatting.
I think
stories and talking like this and all that Steve Irwin shit.
We're getting close to like a bell needed when I go down a rabbit hole too far.
My segue would be into marketing a home in as the market shifts, we probably need to just look at doing different things. So
well, we could send a text message out and have 50 people turn up, where I think now it's going to go back to how it was when we started in real estate, where you've got to be calling every person that's coming through the open home and begging them to just about make an offer, because we're probably not going to go back to those dark times, but we're definitely going to have to work a lot harder. I had one during the week where I actually had to go back multiple times to the buyer and the seller and actually negotiate it. Usually that hasn't been happening. We haven't had to do that in years. People that have only just started in real estate in the last year or 2 years don't even know how to negotiate because they haven't had to.
Yeah. And I agree. Yeah, almost every open home generates, I think on average, my numbers were 3 to 5 offers consistently over the last 12 to 18 months, which it's fantastic for the vendors. It's harder work for us. People will disagree, but I will argue until I'm black and blue. Yes, it has been a very, very profitable time, COVID related, but it has been hard work. It's no downtime. It's 24 hours a day, literally phone calls at 11, 12, 1 a.m., messages throughout the night, throughout weekends.
Yeah, so. if you're good now, when the market changes, like there was hardly there's double the probably amount of agents there was before this all took off, because you could start in real estate and people would just list their house with you because anyone could sell a house. Mm-hmm. Where now experience is going to come back into it. It's like, guys, the market's really tough at the moment. You're going to need an agent with experience. How long was the last? Like, have you looked at how long all your agents you've actually got coming out? How long they've actually been doing it?
Yeah.
You want someone with at least 6+ years experience from when the market was like this last time.
So you've been in the game just 6.5 years?
8.
8 years.
Hey,
nice.
I made sure I shaved it down a bit.
The top of the list. So I know that in regards to marketing property and marketing homes, we've we've touched on how busy it's been and how easy properties are sold. That also has we've had a lot of fresh agents come in and a lot of free marketing being provided and lower commissions just to generate sales and turnover. Transactional agents, I like to call them. Have you seen that as well? Have you noticed that?
Oh yeah, like this. The vendor should really pay for the advertising. The good thing is these days is they don't even have to pay for it up front. They can pay for it later. But like if you've got an agent and he's covering 10 people's sales in marketing, the average spend for decent advertising now is like $2,000. So you're looking at like 10 grand in the hole. So he's not really working for you to sell your home. He's trying to get that marketing money back, because if you decide to withdraw, he's $2,000 in the hole.
And the agent, so just to be clear, if an agent says they're covering the marketing, the agent's covering the market. It's not the office, because I think our average numbers is we sit on around 70 listings roughly, and if we had $2,000 on average marketing, it's 140 grand. I can tell you, as wonderful as our bosses are,
our boss is not. Let me tell you,
he's not digging 140k in the hole.
He's not letting everyone do free advertising.
No, he's not.
But if they do free advertising, a lot of the time it's not good anyway. Like I used to work for a company where we did free advertising. We'd do standard ads on realestate.com, standard photos on Domain. We'd take the photos on our phone. We'd have no one turn up at the open home, like just week after week.
Just quickly, standard advertising. Just run them through the 4 options on, the main portal's realestate.com.
Realestate.com is pay for placement. So they've made Australia one of the most expensive places on the planet to actually advertise a property. So really, when you're paying for placement, you want to be at the top, because especially on the Gold Coast, like the Premier on average probably costs about $2,000 anyway. maybe a
I'd
bit
imagine.
less.
Yeah. I mean, we 4209 post, just for instance, this is how confusing. It's a 4209 postcode. It's 4 different suburbs, and I believe there's 3 different premier price points.
Yeah, depending on how fancy your suburb is,
within
so you
the
pay
postcode.
more.
Correct.
They've got it worked out down to the T. But essentially, you want to be in the first ad because in the Gold Coast, with 72% of people, we want that interstate person like the lady that paid too much for that house I was speaking about earlier.
Yep.
So what we want to do is 72% of the time they're sat in Bankstown and New South Wales typing in Gold Coast. So those premier ads are coming up first. But if you are sat at a standard, you're coming up on like page 20 of just the suburb search. So if you type in Nerang, you're coming up last on that search and no one's going to see it because realestate.com wants everyone to be a premier, but their stats also say that only 30% of people go past the first 2 pages of the suburb search. But really, you want to be a premier to be in that Gold Coast search and actually be in the mix because, especially in our area, we offer really good value as opposed to the southern and beachside suburbs. You get a lot more for your money. So that's how we suck people in. So hopefully that makes sense and you're learning something, Blair.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably speak for a good, and we'll probably rehash that and touch on that again, in regards to back-end pricing to help buyers and marketing. We could probably go on and on and on and on, but I'm sensing you're getting a bit worked up. So I think
but marketing starts with the photos. It's like you've got it like photos and the presence online. Correct. So you can do the best ad, but you really want to get the photos to look as good as possible online because people will have a perception in their mind. If it looks great online, they're already expecting to pay a lot for it before they get to the front door. Yeah,
resolution. Some of the funny photos I like to look at and notice that they've been done by probably an agent or an owner. Sometimes owners like to. My friend's a photographer. My friend's a photographer. Maybe they can come around.
Does pet and baby shoots.
Yeah. So what? You had them many times, but you'll notice you really want a photographer to take photos at the same level. So every photo is taken at the same level. It's funny when you see one taken from a low angle and then they're up here. So when you scroll, it's just all over the show.
There's meat thawing on the bench.
That's a good one.
And the agent hasn't noticed because they've got no experience or they've got no idea or they don't care. There's a pair of old undies hanging over the lounge that the tenants put there.
Reflections in mirrors. That's a good one.
And if you have undies hanging over the back, it looks dirty and gross and the photos are bad quality and you're a tiny ad, I'm walking down your driveway thinking this one's going to be a steal. Like, this isn't going to go for much. There's going to be no one here either. And then you get there, there usually is no one there because it looks terrible. So marketing's all a perception thing. Stuck myself on the back of a bus. Now everyone thinks I'm a huge dog.
Yeah.
I'm getting people messaging me all over the place going, oh, you're doing well.
Marketing on the back of a bus. Should we tell people how much that is? Can we touch on that?
I'm not doing well. It's a perception thing, though. So it's the same thing with when you advertise a home. If you advertise it well, the owner also then has the confidence when you bring them offers that they're the best offers out there because everyone's seen it.
100%. Twilight images over daylight images, and we have the ability to take photos of houses that are cluttered and remove all the furniture and restage it for $40 an image. So there is tricks we can do. We try and keep it as realistic and true to the property as we can, but if it's disgusting, we'll probably remove some furniture for you.
Well, the good thing is back when we first started, tenants used to say stuff like, "Oh, I don't want photos done on the inside." Through the magic now, you can go, "Well, don't worry, we need to take the photos so we've got the right resolution." But then we just Photoshop all their furniture out and put nicer furniture in, and it's just to the buyer's horror when they get there and realise it looks nothing like it does in the photos.
Absolute magic of real estate.
Once they're there, we've got them then. They need to, the owner wants as many people through as possible. We want as many people through as possible because someone will still walk in and buy it.
100%.
But if we didn't have any photos of it online, no one would turn up.
And your feeling on free marketing and your feeling on low-cost agents who are coming in. I mean, we like to average around 2.75%. I think the average area historically has been 2.5s. We are coming up against agents now that are, 1.6, GSC included. They are coming in with, we'll pay for your conveyancing.
Yeah.
We'll pay for your pre-sale building and pest inspections. We'll pay for your marketing. So really, at the end of the day, it's a couple of grand of peace in mind.
Yeah, and we all know what every other agent charges, and they all know we charge 2.75, but why are they only charging 2%? And the reason they're doing that is because they don't get the same results They don't have the same level of experience. They don't have the reach of an LJ Hooker. Like, we all know, why do they have to be cheaper? It's because they're not as good. And
100%.
the difference between 2.75 and 2%, what is that? Are you good at maths?
Well, it's easier to do it in half or 4%. So 2.5 to 2% on a $500,000 home is $2,500.
Yeah. Look, let me
Which is
tell
a phone call, which is literally a phone call back to the buyer.
If I can't get you an extra $5,000,
yes,
double that,
I'll pay for the marketing.
I'll pay for it, and
Correct.
I'll do it for 2%. If I can't get you $5,000 more than what you want,
Yeah.
I'll be aiming to get you $20,000 more. But if I can't get you at least double the 2.5,
Scripts and we should do a thing on scripts and dialogues. That's a good script.
because then other people around here will listen and they'll sound like me.
I don't think anyone can sound like you, champion. No one can sound like you.
I don't think they're going to want to do that. Well, this one's been a lot more on the rails so far.
This has stayed on the rails, and some of the feedback we got was you're called a real estate podcast. You didn't really talk much about real estate, so I think we've held a probably good 10-minute conversation there about real estate.
Yeah.
The overwhelming response to what everyone heard is what cheeses Shane off.
You know what's going to be? You know what's going to be funny though? They're going to listen to this and go, "Well, this one, I reckon we'll get feedback. Well, this one's a bit more boring."
Well, it's a work in progress, Shane. It's a work in progress.
We're up here sometimes. We're down here. We never said it was going to be a good podcast.
No,
if you're still listening at episode 3 and you seem to be you're enjoying it, then
we're just having a chat. We're just in an enlightful chat.
If you've only just started listening at episode 3,
go back to 1.
I would go back to 1 because they especially 2 I found was the trainer derailed.
Camera.
Yeah,
Fucking camera.
I know it's very bright.
So I think we need to cue the music to go to the star segment of the show, which is
the people segment.
The people segment. What cheeses Shane off?
What's cheese Shane off?
Hit it. So I've got really no idea.
What's cheese Shane off?
What's cheese Shane off?
Let me tell you.
He's warming up.
Building in Pest last week, I had to go to 2.5 hours.
Fucking hell.
2.5 hours on a 4-bedroom house built in 2015. 2.5 hours.
He's looking into the camera.
Found nothing wrong with the place. Found nothing wrong with it. A good one goes, for people that aren't in real estate, a good one goes for an hour. That's all you need. Even if it's 1 bloke, 2 blokes. I know guys that are amazing and will find anything wrong with a house. An hour, maybe a bit longer.
For a 4-bedder?
4-bedder.
I think it should be done in an hour. 45 minutes, I think, is fair.
Especially if there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
I've had ones where they've gone for 2.5 hours and there's 2 of them. I'm like, what are you having lunch in the ceiling or something?
Yeah.
Well, we can't see you. Like, are you just trying to earn your money that badly? The buyer was stood there looking at me going, do they usually go this long? And I'm like, nah, we should have been going an hour and a half ago.
Yep. Shits me. Absolutely shits me. That cheeses me off as well, Shane.
Yeah. So can I send this down a rabbit warren for a minute? And this is, let me just tell you, this will not sound good because I'm going to go down the rabbit hole. And let me just tell you, I was caught short at a building in Pest once, and we had a code brown. Now, let me tell you what that is. We were at this house. It was in a suburb. We worked with the lady at the time, so it's not a random person's home, thank God. But it was empty, completely empty. Building and Pest went for 2 hours, and I was in the house, and I must have had something off for lunch because my guts were on fire, and I could just feel things getting worse and worse. Things were moving south at a rapid pace. We're there for 2.5 hours. The last 10 minutes are spent the bloke walking around the house, giving them the thing, and I'm just there going, I was literally, didn't even realise it, I was stood like this. Cross-legged. Until I looked down, I didn't realise I was doing it. I was so close to losing it all.
Is this why you started with the MA segment? Because it gets messy?
Yeah.
He's getting sweaty now.
So it just brings back horrible memories. I was so crook. And so they're like, oh, see you later, Shane. Thanks for that. They've been there for way too long as well. We'd all aged about 5 years waiting for this bloke to get through this house. So weirdly, I've closed the door behind him. And they're probably thinking, what's he doing in that empty house on his own? Anyway, I've got, see you guys, closed the door, gone down to the toilet, looked in there, no toilet paper. Disaster. So what have I done, you may ask?
I don't want to ask. I don't want to know.
I know you want to know.
I don't want to know.
I got creative, didn't I, Robert? Because Because I go to the gym, which people look inside on now wouldn't think I do, but because I go to the gym, I thought, I didn't know the suburb, I didn't know where there was a toilet. It was one of those places in the middle of nowhere. There was nowhere else to go. I would have done it in the car on the way home, which you don't want to do. So I thought, what am I going to do here? There's no option. Then I had the thought of a year. So what I did was went out, got my gym bag, towel off the back of the seat, went in, did me business.
Oh, no.
Went in, did me business. I had to do it. Like trades do it in crap in people's houses all the time and leave a complete mess.
No.
I didn't do that, but I had to go. Didn't you? Had it, did it. Jumped in the shower. Bob's your uncle. Hey, I already had my gym towel, so it was okay.
So no.
I had to. There was no option.
So you didn't use the towel to wipe your ass?
No. I had a shower there. That's not too bad.
That's a better. I thought you were going to say you took segments of the towel and wiped your ass.
I would have just kamikazed and just crap myself in the car. That was the only option.
Well, I thought you...
I cleaned it all. There was no
was there shit on the wall? What did you clean? What did you clean?
No, it was a toilet bath in the same room. And I was like, because what am I going to do? I was so far. It was in the middle of nowhere.
Actually, I give you credit. I think you thought you thought through that well.
Yeah.
Do you carry toilet paper in your glove box? Now?
No, I haven't. And I got caught short at an open home as well once.
I do. You got to. You have to, mate. It's a rookie mistake.
I find that I'm usually pretty good. It was just that I'd had an off day and I'd had an off something at lunch, and then I was stuck with this moron going through this house for 2 hours. Could have been even longer, that one. So if you're out there and you're doing building and pest inspections and you're wondering why the phone's not ringing, it's because no one recommends you because you take too long to get around people's houses. If you can't find something wrong with it in an hour, an extra hour and a half ain't going to make a difference, in my opinion. I'm not a builder.
There's 37 pages of bullshit anyway that make a buyer feel the house is going to fall over in the next gust of wind. They will find something. The house can have no termites on the whole 600 square metre block. Chance of termites invading house, very high. Yeah.
They're afraid of getting sued. So I can see why they go the extra mile.
Saying this topic fucking cheeses me off. I don't know. This is your segment, so don't get me wound up.
I know. You're an angry man to me. I don't know why we do.
I'm an angry man. I'm fucking very calm.
Oh, I don't know about that. So that's what's cheese Shane off this week.
Is there an outro?
Play the outro.
We got any outro music yet?
You won't have an outro. It's taken this long to get an intro.
Mate, so what have you got planned for the rest of this week? Obviously another long weekend, Anzac Day is coming up. Another holiday probably planned. You're probably due one.
No.
You've acquired a new...
Next
You want
week.
to tell people you've acquired a new assistant?
Yeah, got a new assistant.
Hired something. So you earn 75, just going back to the first podcast, you earn 75 grand a year.
Thanks for the recap.
You drive a Jag.
Your radio sensibilities have gotten better.
You've just been on holiday to Tasmania.
That was charity work.
You're on the back of a bus. 3 buses, sorry. On the back of 3 buses.
It's all an illusion.
Yeah, and you've just brought on an assistant. Fuck, you can spread your 75 grand pretty fucking far, mate.
I know.
You're doing incredible.
I know. And, I managed to save that money and then just, give it back.
Yeah.
Just keep giving it back. I'm happy if I take home 15 grand a year.
You're a true giver.
I'm happy. As long as it feeds me and the dogs.
Yeah.
And Lisa, we're fine.
I'm glad you said Lisa because she's one of the 6 that listen to this podcast.
Yeah. So, so she started, so that's what's happened. But yeah, we're just grinding away,
Bit of a growth phase for Shane.
Yeah.
Will you have time for the podcast in the future, mate? Is this a priority for you?
Yeah.
Or do I bring Blair onto it? Because what cheeses Blair off might work as well because he's new to the business.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I saw him flying today in the Batmobile as well.
Has that gone up on the socials yet?
No, I don't think so. Get that on. It will when episode 2 comes out. That was an episode 2 reference. So by the time this is out, you'll be able to watch episode 2 or listen to it.
Yeah, if you're not listening in chronological order, you're probably an idiot. So go back to 1.
Go back to 1. I think you'll learn the most in this one though, because we actually talked about real estate.
We did a little bit of real estate. I think we try to keep it 50-50, and I think we probably hit a good number, about 25 minutes. Were we sitting at about there, mate? We've got the thumbs up from Blair, so I think we probably wrap this one up. Unless you want to, is there anything you want to finish on, mate?
This is episode 3, folks.
You happy?
Yeah, we'll be back.
How do you feel we're going?
good. I'm just surprised that we've managed to stay there for 3 episodes.
I'm surprised.
Consistency was our problem.
Committed to a time and been here.
Yeah.
So,
But if you're driving into work and you're enjoying listening to us, we're not going to say we're going to commit to 2 a week because we won't do it.
We won't do 2 a week. I mean, not even the best podcast
No.
we do a week.
We're going to stick to 1.
It's a lot of work for Blair. I'd actually, just quick before we go, how much work, after we speak shit on a microphone, Blair, how much work is it for you to put it together in a way where we sound a bit better than we are?
It's getting quicker because the more assets, the more structure we have from the prior episodes that I can just copy over. A couple hours to knock out an episode.
And you're getting happier? You happy where we're at?
The other thing is for Blair is where us normal people have to drive home in traffic, he can fly above it. So we'll catch you next week.
That's all right. Thanks very much, guys. See you soon. Bye.